Right now at 6, the Carthage School District considers major changes to Pleasant Valley Elementary.
And we will be a bit cooler today. However, we're still above normal. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, a homeless man's death ignites controversy at Joplin City Council.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KLAM Morning News at 6 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Tuesday, February the 10th. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Hopefully you got out and enjoyed yesterday because, boy, it was a nice day.
It's beautiful.
It's actually still really nice this morning in most cases, too, because that cold front slowed down a bit, so it's not made it all the way through.
It was one of those days I was able to walk outside without my jacket like I typically do, but I wasn't like I need to rush to my car because it's so cold.
Yeah, I wore jeans to go pick up our youngest from the bus stop in a t-shirt, and I'm sitting there in the sun, and I was roasting. I had to switch to shorts because I was like, this isn't working. It was way too warm. Well, okay, for this time of year, I was not prepared for that necessarily, like for it to be that warm.
It's like the 70s feel different at different times of the year.
We talked about that yesterday. Like there's a difference. Like you get the 70s and lower, and there's a warm 60 degrees and there's a cool 60 degrees, and it all depends on context, I guess, with the surrounding days. But today it's going to feel a little cooler, even though we're still above average, and we're going to feel a bit cooler yet with some gusty winds, and we'll have to contend with that, but otherwise still not a bad day. We're going to start though with our live look downtown Pittsburgh, and it's looking pretty good so far. Clouds though, we don't have any daylight yet to really see it, but clouds are continuing to thicken up and increase across the area, and that will continue to take place through the morning hours until we're eventually mostly cloudy out there. West Coast camera, 7th and range line, looks good. Quick stop for the KDOT camera, 69-400, looking north along 69. Looks good so far as well. And our final stop, the MoDOT camera at 20th and range line in Joplin, looks good too. Temperatures look good. Actually, we've come up now a bit. We're at 60 in Joplin. It's 6 a.m. on February the 10th, and it is 60 degrees in Joplin, 55 in Pittsburgh. This front, not a well-defined boundary, but it's there, so we do have some cooler temperatures. Sedan's still the cold spot at 46, 48 Yates Center, and we get a string of 50s, and as you get further ahead of the front, even warmer. Cassville's actually come up a bit. Now the warm spot at 64 degrees this morning. So here's what's going to happen. The cold front itself, oh, sorry, I wanted to show you this too. So with that said, I forgot this was here. We are, as you can see, 15 to 30 degrees warmer right now than we were at this same time yesterday morning. So here's the deal. Our cold front has slowed down a bit. So instead of it being out of here by noon, it's still just kind of hanging on to the area by noon. And so that causes us to reach our highs early in the morning, not this early, but in the next few hours. Then we level out for a bit until that front gets further out of the region, and then temperatures will gradually begin to fall back with those gusty north winds and the mostly cloudy skies. Kids out the door this morning, again, as you saw, it's not too bad. Now our temperatures, I want to emphasize, they're going to vary a bit through the day because the further behind the front you are, the cooler it's going to be. You're not going to be cold, but you may be a little cooler than these numbers here. So we're going for an average across the region. We're be near 60 out the door, mid 60s by lunch and recess. We fall back a bit, low 60s as the kids head home today. Low 60s by 9, mid 60s by noon. Again, we'll hit those highs early, level out, and then gradually drop back. Mid 50s by 6, north winds gusting to 25. Even though we will be even cooler tomorrow, we will still be above normal. We remain that way for a while. We have some rain chances later this week. Talk about all that in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. A woman who asked the Joplin City Council to acknowledge a homeless man's death says she's facing backlash instead of empathy. Amanda Bearden says she wanted the council to recognize the death of 41-year-old James Boyer, who died from hypothermia in Joplin last month. KLAM's Kenny Foreman sat down with Bearden, who was still seeking answers from the city.
I would like one more second to just say, James Boyer.
At last week's City Council meeting, Amanda Bearden was hoping the council would at least acknowledge the recent death of James Boyer. Instead, she says she was met with backlash from council members.
As a Carl Junction resident, how many times have you addressed your Carl Junction City Council about these same issues and advocated for support and help from the community that you're a taxpayer and registered voter for?
That
Once,
doesn't pertain
twice?
to this. Mr.
Never?
Boyer and the community that
Ma'am, that's not what I asked. Once, twice, never what?
I have not.
It's a numerical.
Rather than engaging with me about the death of Mr. Boyer or showing any kind of empathy, he immediately went on the attack, asking why I was there speaking when I'm not a Joplin resident, and then telling me that I should take many of the unsheltered to Carl Junction, which is where I am a resident, even though I only live 2 miles from the airport.
41-year-old Boyer was found dead near the Residence Inn on Hammonds Boulevard on January 27th. The coroner's report says the cause of death was hypothermia, which created a cardiac event. Bearden says that the city's strict regulations likely played a part.
I feel wholeheartedly that the city leadership is complicit in his passing because they have instituted ordinances that cause the individuals that we previously would have known exactly where they were staying every night to go further into the woods, to hide further away from the resources because of this camping ordinance.
As someone who works with resource centers, she has a vision for what the city needs to do better.
We could locate them, we could get them to safety and security, and we could keep identifying resources. With the new street medicine residency program, if we don't know where they're at, having residents that are willing and ready and eager to provide them support does no good if we can't find them.
But at the moment, she feels this is only possible with a fresh group of voices.
At this point, it appears that it's going to have to be a change in leadership. It's going to have to be the April City Council vote.
A vigil for James Boyer will take place right here at Spiva Park on Saturday, February 14th at 5 p.m. Reporting in Joplin, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
The city of Joplin did not respond to KOAM's request for comment. The parents of a Joplin area firefighter who died in a golf cart accident reached a $150,000 wrongful death settlement. Tucker Berry was off duty when he was thrown from a golf cart in October of 2024 in Carl Junction and struck his head. He never regained consciousness. The settlement involves two men who were driving golf carts during the incident. Brand Colin, who was driving the cart Berry fell from, still faces criminal charges of involuntary manslaughter. The Berry family will receive just over $99,000 after attorney fees. Officials confirmed the name of a Joplin man who died in a Sunday evening motorcycle crash in Jasper County. The county coroner confirmed the 24-year-old Bryce Roach died after crashing with a car at West 7th Street and Central City Road. Roach was ejected from the motorcycle and rushed to a Springfield hospital where he died early yesterday morning. The crash report did not list any injuries for the driver of the car. The Carthage School District considers major changes to Pleasant Valley Elementary. Superintendent Luke Boyer says no decision has been made yet, but the district needs to expand its Beacon Autism Center, which currently has a waiting list approaching the same number of students the district serves. Boyer says the Pleasant Valley campus is the only location that could support the expansion. The school board plans to discuss potential changes this month. Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe made several stops in Joplin yesterday, highlighting education, workforce development, and health care. Governor Kehoe used his visit to Joplin to talk about broader challenges facing the state, among them how Missouri positions itself for growth and competes with other states for residents and investment. Well, a new video from Today's Show co-anchor Savannah Guthrie makes a desperate plea as the search for her mother, Nancy, is in its second week. Andreas Gutierrez is in Tucson, where the family says they believe their mother is still alive.
Calling it their hour of desperation, Today's Show co-anchor Savannah Guthrie made a plea on behalf of her family for any information leading to her mother, Nancy's return.
She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help. If you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement.
Savannah Guthrie said law enforcement is working around the clock on her mother's case. The family faces a looming deadline Monday, according to an apparent ransom note the FBI is still working to authenticate.
This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
In a previous message, the family offered to pay, but it's not confirmed what the demand is. One former FBI negotiator is questioning the would-be kidnapper's potential motives.
It also could be more of a emotional or expressive type, grievance. Maybe someone that she knows, and it's really not financial, or maybe it just went really bad and they're improvising.
Law enforcement have not held a news conference since last Thursday, and they haven't talked about receiving any proof of life of Nancy Guthrie.
I take them at face value that they have nothing right now. That being said, if they do have a credible lead, they're very smart to hold it close to the vest and to play that tactfully for an operation that might result in the victim being returned alive.
The safe return of Nancy Guthrie is also top of mind for local residents praying for her and the family.
My prayers and the flowers, and I hope it makes them feel a little bit better. We will get her back. We will get her back good and healthy and fine.
That's the earnest wish for all involved here as investigators run down every lead. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Tucson.
That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Democrats demand major changes to federal enforcement following deadly shootings. And cool and cloudy conditions in the 4 states. Chris has a look at your Tuesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch, funding for the Department of Homeland Security is set to run out Friday night, with lawmakers still far apart on key immigration issues. Democrats are demanding significant reforms to ICE following the deaths of Renee Good and Alex Preddy at the hands of federal agents in Minneapolis. Among other things, they want to restrict immigration agents from wearing masks and require them to display an ID and use body cameras. But Republicans have called some of those demands unrealistic and unserious. A lapse in funding could impact the TSA, Coast Guard, and FEMA. Puerto Rican superstar Bad Bunny turned the Super Bowl halftime show into a full-blown dance party Sunday. The numbers are in, and it turns out the singer's show was the most watched halftime performance of all time, with more than 135 million viewers. Adriana Diaz reports.
The grass grew into a field of sugarcane as Bad Bunny kicked off his halftime show. The singer started his set by walking us through a colorful Caribbean landscape filled with a dominoes game, a nail salon, and even a shaved ice card. He then took us to La Casita, the same pink house from his Puerto Rican residency last year, where Jessica Alba, Cardi B, Karol G, and Pedro Pascal were all VIP.
Los declaro marido y mujer.
From there, it morphed into a real-life, legally binding wedding with quite the wedding singer. Lady Gaga, singing a salsa version of Die With a Smile. She also showed off her dance moves at the wedding reception. Bad Bunny then took a shot from a Puerto Rican pioneer, Toñita, who owns a legendary New York social club. At one point, cameras found a young boy and his family watching the moment Bad Bunny won his Grammy last week. The singer then passing the dream forward. La Brega podcast host Alana Casanova Burgess.
I think a lot of people, myself included, saw parallels between that little boy and Liam Conejo Ramos. We know that that little boy wasn't Liam Conejo Ramos, but whether it was a younger Bad Bunny or any other Latino kid, I think the parallels were pretty clear.
From there, Bad Bunny brought out fellow Puerto Rican icon Ricky Martin.
Quieren quitarme el río y también la playa.
God bless America!
And then closed out the show, shouting out every country across the Americas.
Venezuela, Guyana.
Marching with all their flags in front of a jumbotron that read, "The only thing more powerful than hate is love." An alternative halftime show viewed by more than 5 million people was headlined by Kid Rock. Bad Bunny's set drew a record-breaking 135 million viewers and tens of thousands in person.
I love the fact that everybody was like bringing culture together and he was just trying to mend things.
I think music should be universal and it was absolutely fantastic.
Seguimos aquí.
Adriana Diaz, CBS News.
Well, still to come, the dental health struggle for young people with autism. Plus, cool and cloudy conditions in the 4 states. Chris has a look at your Tuesday forecast. Today in entertainment news, the battle over books, a battle to save mankind, and yes, one battle after another. Here's David Daniel with your Hollywood Minute.
So I have a new roommate now.
Hi, Grace.
Together, we're pretty smart. But no one's ever done this before.
It is time go.
I think you mean go time, pal.
Here's a look at the final trailer for Project Hail Mary. Ryan Gosling plays a science teacher sent into space to discover why the sun is dying. Project Hail Mary, based on the novel by The Martian writer Andy Weir, opens in IMAX and other theaters March 20th.
You know what freedom is? What? No fear. Go!
Paul Thomas Anderson appears to be in the driver's seat in this year's Oscars race. The Directors Guild of America has given The One Battle After Another director its top prize. The DGA winner has gone on to win the Oscar for Best Director in each of the last 5 years.
If you would have asked me 10 years ago if I was going to have security concerns at a librarian conference, I would have been like, you're nuts.
The Librarians looks at the battle over books with race-related and LGBTQIA+ content and the consequences for education, free expression, and what it means to be a librarian. The Independent Lens documentary debuts today on PBS and the PBS app. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Certainly a lot of interesting projects to consider watching. Well, now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, again, we will be a little cooler today with the cold front pushing through, but still almost 20 degrees above normal for most of us. We'll have a look at your forecast, talk about the gusty winds, cooler temperatures, and some rain chances when we come back.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:23 on this Tuesday morning, and we're going to start with the future track. The biggest change for today is the cold front. We were expecting it to be gone by noon, but as you can see, by noon, it's still kind of hovering there right south of I-44, so it's just going a little slower. I also want to emphasize, when we have days like this where we get a cold front that's pushing through, that makes some changes, it makes it a little more difficult to spatter out temperatures for the entire region because some of you further behind the front will be a little cooler than those of you ahead of the front or closer to it. So what we try and do is go with an average for what most of us will see, but I want you to keep in mind the temperatures we show you are going to vary a bit from one end of the area to the other. So just do keep that one in mind. All right, so let's talk about the front and its impact. Well, we've got clouds that are already beginning to increase across the area. We're going to have gusty north winds back behind this front, but we should be dry. There are shower chances down south of us. Some data suggest a sprinkle or two could reach as far north as Barry, McDonald, Delaware counties, but it's not looking very likely. We should be dry, breezy, and we will be again. We'll be about 10 degrees cooler than yesterday, but still about 20 degrees above average. Now, skies are expected to clear pretty quickly after midnight, and as we get into tomorrow morning, we'll have clear skies. Still gusty winds overnight. They'll ease up out of the northeast at about 5 to 10 tomorrow. And after that, we'll see clouds gradually begin to pick up again by late Wednesday, going partly cloudy and eventually going mostly cloudy as we roll into our Thursday. Now, our Thursday, we're expecting to be dry the majority of the day. We get a southerly wind in here. We will get a little warmer again. And then even though clouds will clear in the evening briefly, we'll get more overnight that will bring some shower chances, at least isolated shower chances that start Thursday and will continue through at least Saturday, which we'll break down in just a moment. As for today, like I said, depending on where you are, these temperatures may vary a bit, but we're looking on average around the region to start at about 60, but you can see it's only a 5-degree climb to the mid-60s. Once we hit about 10, 11 a.m., most of us are going to reach our highs at that point and then level out for a while before temperatures will gradually start to fall the further behind the cold front you get. Temperatures won't plummet with this front, mind you, but they will drop off gradually. So we're down to about 60 by 4 o'clock, and we'll have those north winds gusting to 25. Those north winds continue to gust overnight. Like I said, we're mostly cloudy through the evening. Then after midnight, skies begin to clear pretty quickly. We're colder tonight, but still above normal, going back into the mid-30s. Now, we go from Thursday and Friday, isolated to widely scattered shower chances are possible late Thursday through Friday. It's Saturday, which I know is Valentine's Day. It's the day we're watching right now. We have a system, and remember on this future track, this is not rain across all of the southern U.S. This is just rain is possible within this zone. And so what we get is this system that starts lifting north as we go into very early Saturday morning. So we're talking, here we are at 5 a.m., just starting to sneak in here. Showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two, look to be possible. No severe weather is expected at this point, but some thunderstorms are possible, which could maybe bring some slightly heavier rain that we do need. The other thing is long-range data has already moved this system a little further north during the day on Saturday, and it looks as though it may track even further north. So even if you're not showing rain right now, odds are you may get in on it. So we'll keep an eye on that. But it does mean for Valentine's Day, you get to show your chivalry by holding the door and the umbrella if you're heading out for dinner or a walk or whatever the case may be for Valentine's Day. Now, as we go overnight, showers, rumbles of thunder begin to exit the region, and as we get into Sunday afternoon and evening, skies will begin to clear behind all of that. Now, like I said, even with our temperatures up and down over the next several days, we're staying above normal. That will be the consistent trend here. We are cooler tomorrow, but still about 10 degrees above average, into the mid-50s. We warm back up Thursday. We've got those rain chances. We're not too bad into the weekend, still into the 50s, 60s, maybe some 70s next week, and then another system will bring our temperatures back down to the mid-50s by next Thursday. That is a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Samantha now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. It's National Children's Dental Health Month, and brushing teeth is routine for many families. But for kids with autism, it can be a major battle. Now, dental health experts are teaming up with parents to make it easier. Tina Cross reports from London.
Ready, sit next to Mummy. Anne-Marie lives in England with two autistic sons, Tolan and Freddie. She says cleaning their teeth has been the toughest part of raising them.
You've got not only the physical, the noise, you've got the taste. That whole experience together just became too overwhelming. And it would result in challenging behaviour, lashing out, self-harm.
Her boys brushed as much as they could handle, but by elementary school, both needed surgery and had 12 teeth removed under general anesthetic.
It was devastating, absolutely devastating.
The traumatic experience led Anne-Marie and other parents to team up with researchers at the University of Leeds School of Dentistry.
I personally can see better to brush like this.
Together, they created a new website with practical tips for children with autism, from brushing and healthy eating to making dentist visits less stressful.
This is often quite fraught and challenging for the child to come into a dentist. Funny smells, different sensations, lighting, and often we might say, can you take a picture at home so that we've got an idea of what you're worried about?
Experts say autismtoothcare.com will help families around the world take control of their oral health.
I think it's revolutionary. I honestly think that if I'd have had this toolkit back when the boys were young, we wouldn't have had to have teeth extraction. It wouldn't have been the end result.
That's it, good boy. Well done. Anne-Marie hopes other parents will log on and brush up on how to turn tooth troubles into triumphs. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, a $4 million makeover will transform Ottawa County's Dobson Museum.
And now we're getting some daylight. Now you can see those increasing clouds out there from downtown Pittsburgh. We are cooler than yesterday, but still well above average. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, a genealogy class thrives under the guidance of a 99-year-old teacher.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6:33. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Tuesday, February the 10th, and but just for the record, yesterday Joplin did break a record high, and I know it's not the only location. Now, we only beat the old record by a degree. It was 75 was the old, and we made 76. But what's important about it is the fact that the old record had been in place since World War II.
Wow.
It was 1943 when we set that record of 75, and we broke it by 1 degree yesterday. So it was very warm across the area. Hopefully got out to enjoy it. I opened up some windows, aired out the house a bit, because, in the wintertime, your house, the air gets pretty stale. You keep it all bundled up. You're trying to keep it warm.
Yeah.
Exactly. So when you get an opportunity in the middle of winter to kind of air it out, get some fresh air in, it makes a difference, I think.
It did not feel like February, but I was okay with that yesterday.
Same. Absolutely. It was not February, but it was quite nice. Now today, we're going to be about 10 degrees cooler than yesterday. It's a pretty big drop, but we are still going to be about 20 degrees warmer than normal. even with the 10-degree drop in temperatures.
Wow.
That's where we are right now. Let's take a look, though, downtown Pittsburgh. And again, you can see we've got some daylight. You can see that it's mostly cloudy already in Pittsburgh, and clouds continuing to spread across the region. Our camera is a Westco camera. It's the same thing at 7th and Range Line. We can see, if I pointed a different direction, you'll see more clouds. But you can see that those clouds thickening up. Otherwise, we're okay. We're dry. KDOT camera 69-400 just south of Pittsburgh, looking north toward Pittsburgh. Looks good. And our final stop, the MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line in Joplin, also looking pretty good, pretty calm this morning as we get this Tuesday underway. Here's our temperatures, though. A little bit wild for this time of year. And the only reason I say is because you got to keep in mind what our average low is supposed to be, which is about 26, 27 degrees. That's where we should be right now. We're not. 60 in Joplin, 53 in Pittsburgh. The cold front pushing through the area, and Sedan's the coldest spot we've got at 41. You've kind of been the cold spot all morning. Outside of that, the temperature drop is not significant. Ahead of it, we still have Bentonville. You're the warm spot right now at 62, but you can see where that front is. It's a little behind schedule. It's slowed down more so than anything. And so that's having a slight impact on our temperatures, which I'll explain in just a moment. But look, even Sedan being at 41, that's still 13 degrees warmer than where you were 24 hours ago. Down into northeastern Oklahoma, we've got Grove almost 30 degrees warmer now than what the temperature was yesterday at this same time. So what I mean by it's slowing down, by noon this front was supposed to be out of here, but it's not. It's still lingering. It's a slow process. You can even watch it in 4 hours time. It slowly starts to exit. So the further behind the front you get, the cooler the temperatures will become. Like I said, they will not plummet, but you'll be a little cooler up north than those down south, while those gusty winds and mostly cloudy skies. Kids out the door, about 60. Mid-60s lunch and recess, heading home, falling back a bit into the low 60s. And I also want to again emphasize that these temperatures are a median point for the region, what I think most of us will be during the day. Further north, where you're a little further behind the front, your temperatures may be a few degrees cooler, but you're still going to be above normal. We're looking at low 60s by 9, mid 60s for highs. We'll reach those early, level out, and then gradually drop off. And again, north winds gusting to 25. Tomorrow, we're another 10 degrees cooler, but that still keeps us above normal. And then we'll start to see some rain chances heading into the weekend. I'll have a look at that in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. The Dobson Museum in Miami, Oklahoma received a truckload of exhibits as it prepares for its reopening in a few months. KOAM's Nellie Lopez gives us an inside look as to how the museum will provide a new way to experience Ottawa County history.
They started in 1963 collecting. That's when our collection began.
Dobson Museum and Home is a few months from finishing their $4 million renovations, with $2.5 million going towards new exhibits. Exhibits that reflect Ottawa history.
We cover the entire county, all communities. And through this project, this is a great deal for the entire county and our whole community, just to have a place to preserve and share our stories. Because Ottawa County is kind of one of those first places where the welcome mat was laid out for anybody that traveled to Indian Territory or came to this part of the country.
The nearby Dobson home, however, will remain untouched.
There's not too many historic homes that you can visit in the country that have the original furnishings. With Nellie Dobson, the way she set up the museum and the trust, her original furnishings were left in her home. So the majority of what's in the house is what Nellie owned and used during her lifetime.
They've added new restrooms, updated the gift shop, and creating a whole new modern update and interactive pieces to some displays. Some of the new exhibits kept in mind the next generation, as they are the ones to continue telling the story.
Our exhibit area, our children's area, and then you can it's very important to us that we engage the next generation so we save and preserve our history. Ottawa County has an amazing story to share, and we want to make sure we're reaching all ages and have them engaged and involved in the museum to carry it on for the next generation. And as I said, our museum's been here 60 years. We want it to be here longer than 60 years more.
In Miami, Nellie Lopez, KOAM News.
In Benton, Arkansas, a 99-year-old woman is showing that when it comes to pursuing your passions, there's no age limit. Carter Thweet has her story.
There's a lot going on at the Benton Senior Activity Center. Line dancing and beanbag baseball are always a hit, but on Thursdays at 9:30, a different kind of activity.
It's locating who your
ancestors were.
That's the purpose of the weekly genealogy class here, and the woman teaching it has quite a history herself. Mary Louise Chittenden celebrated her 99th birthday at the start of last week. She started teaching the class at 91. For her, it was a no-brainer.
I wanted somebody else to be excited when I found something.
They are excited, with much of the group planning to attend a genealogy conference in Utah this March. In the meantime, they have their weekly Thursday meetings, which Chittenden says she'll teach for as long as she's able.
I'm not probably going to be able to do as much as I did, but I have good helpers that will operate the computer.
Helpers like Doris Owen of Hensley, who's there every week.
The lady's awesome. You walk into a class, and I'm an old techie, but she's 99, and most people in their 70s can't do some of the stuff she's doing. She'll outlive us all.
Chittenden says the class is a team effort, and she's just grateful for people who are as passionate as she is. She encourages anyone who wants to learn more about their history to attend the class. And don't worry, it's free.
We charge them the same part that I get paid.
In Benton, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A look back at the Super Bowl ads and the strategies aimed at getting your attention. In Consumer Watch, between the touchdowns and the tackles, Super Bowl commercials make us laugh, cry, and sometimes ask, what was that selling? But for the companies shelling out millions for the spots, do they actually work? Evan Moon talked with ad experts about this year's standouts and whether that airtime really turns into revenue.
From humor to heart, commercials steal a lot of the Super Bowl spotlight. This year, nostalgia took center stage with T-Mobile's Backstreet Boys throwback and Duncan's nod to classic sitcoms and movies. Ad Age Editor-in-Chief Janine Pogge spoke with CBS Mornings about the strategy.
They're trying to reach different demographics across the board. So whether it's Jurassic Park or doing some spoofs on old sitcoms, while also adding Charlie XCX or Alex Earl.
And instead of comedy, some advertisers go for sentiment.
Those moments, some of the quieter moments, tend to stand out for that reason. And they said that, it is a responsibility to use marketing dollars to inspire America.
This year, a 30-second Super Bowl ad cost companies between $8 and $10 million, a big jump from the $7 to $8 million average in 2025, all for airtime that reaches about 130 million consumers. But do these commercials actually pay off?
It actually is very much worth it.
Kantar marketing expert Carrie Benson says the Super Bowl is prime time for profits.
The Super Bowl is kind of a good deal, because there's no other venue or entertainment platform that gets people to talk about brands the way that the Super Bowl does. Say it's $10 million for an ad. You're going to get $8.6 in return on that for every dollar spent.
Benson says the winners are often the ads that make you laugh.
We have data that shows the harder you make people laugh, the more they'll remember your brand.
And she says AI-created commercials don't do as well.
We saw Svedka come out with a 100% AI ad, and it was fun, and to their credit, they used robots, but the ad didn't score as well as some of the ads that were made by humans.
Brands playing for sales, turning these moments into money.
You're coming.
Evan Moon, CBS News, New York.
Yes, I promise.
That's it for Consumer Watch. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
That's certainly some excellent commercials. This is one of my favorite. But even though I couldn't stay up, they still are pretty cool. That Jurassic Park ad, man. Oh, man, that was a good one. Well, I've got some good news in the weather department. While we are cooler today, we will still be above average. We have some rain chances later this week. Breaking it all down for you, and birthdays and anniversaries right after this. All right, time now for some Tuesday birthdays, and we're going to start in Humboldt with Timber Mitchell celebrating birthday number 10. Happy birthday.
And in Liberal, Cash Meadows is celebrating birthday number 12. It says, love you, Cash Man, Meemaw, Papa Gary, and Grandma Leanne. Happy birthday, Cash.
And our neighbor in Crestline, Emma Jessie, celebrating birthday number 12 today. A very happy birthday to you.
And in Pittsburgh, Rhea Watson is celebrating birthday number 15. It says, love mom, sister, aunt, nephews, cousins, dad, brother-in-law, and friends. Happy birthday, Rhea.
And to Oswego we go for Jessica P, celebrating birthday number 34. Says, happy birthday. Hope you have a great day. Love your husband and kids.
And in Mulberry, Greg Douglas is celebrating birthday number 58. Happy birthday, Greg.
And we have Shay celebrating another year wiser. Says happy birthday, love you from Aunt Beck and all your family.
And in Baxter Springs, Daisy Schooley is celebrating birthday number 72. Happy birthday, Daisy.
And Frank Immel celebrating 103. You may recall we did that cool story with him just earlier yesterday. It was yesterday we did that. Yeah, so it's already been a long week. A very happy birthday to you, Frank.
And Sharon Jinks is celebrating another happy birthday. Happy birthday, Sharon.
And we've got Kaylee Bordemus in Pittsburgh celebrating a birthday today as well. A very happy birthday to all of you on our list. And of course, if you would like to celebrate, Samantha's got some simplistic information for you.
Yes, they should pay attention to this email they can see on their screen. It's birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. That's where they can send those photos, those birthdays, and those anniversaries. But they should also make sure to pay plenty of attention to that deadline that they can see on the bottom of their screen. So that way we can make sure we get it in plenty of time to be able to celebrate with them on their special day.
Absolutely. We're going to quickly back this up. I just want to take a look. We got the sunrise. We got some clouds. This is the KDOT camera 69 just north of Baxter Springs. Looks good, though. Nice colors to that sky this morning. MoDOT camera 28th and range line. Again, it's looking back northwest, so a little darker, but those clouds, again, continuing to increase out there. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line. Looks good. And we're going to take a look now at the future track. So here's what we've got. Our cold front. It's coming through. In fact, it's here in the area as it should be, but what's happened is, at least compared to future track data from yesterday, it's slowed down a bit. That's not going to have a major impact on us today. It just simply extends the time in which our high temperatures will reach a flattening point where they level out for a bit. So by noon yesterday, the future track was anticipating this cold front to already be out of our area. As you can see, at least right now, it's going to be stationed just south of I-44. Like I said, it doesn't have a significant impact on our weather, but it does change up temperature times a bit. Now, I again want to emphasize, take a look at the size of this map. Now, this map probably doesn't look all that big, but I mean, from here to here is not a short drive. So, we're going to talk temperatures, but I want you to keep in mind the temperatures we're going to talk about are a median, what's expected for the majority of our area. Some of you, again, especially further behind that cold front, may be a little cooler than what we're going to speak of. But again, these numbers are based on what I think the majority of us will see. All right, let's get through this though. Mostly cloudy skies, already seeing those clouds increase out there. We'll have gusty north winds back behind this front, and those north winds will continue to be gusty overnight tonight. Now, mostly cloudy skies continue through about midnight, and then very quickly after that, clouds will begin to clear. Clear skies to start our Wednesday, and we'll start going partly cloudy much later in the day as we head into late afternoon, evening hours out there with a northeast breeze at about 5 to 10. Clouds will increase Wednesday night into Thursday, and while we'll be mostly cloudy to straight up cloudy for a good portion of Thursday, we get southerly winds, so we will warm up, but we will be dry before additional clouds move in overnight and bring us some additional shower chances, which we'll talk about a little later. Here's another view of that sunrise from the Westco camera 7th and range line. Looks quite nice. Near 60 to start the day, mid 60s by 11 a.m. And again, once we reach these highs, we level out for a while, and then temperatures will gradually start to drop back through the late afternoon and evening. We'll go over all of that in just a moment, but when we switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., Elon Musk is postponing his Martian city in favor of somewhere a little closer to home. That and more at 7 a.m.
This is your Wake Up recap for February 10th, your top stories to start your day. The parents of a Joplin area firefighter who died in a golf cart accident reached a $150,000 wrongful death settlement. Tucker Berry was off duty when he was thrown from a golf cart in October of 2024 in Carl Junction and struck his head. He never regained consciousness. The settlement involves two men who were driving golf carts during the incident. Brant Colin, who was driving the cart Berry fell from, still faces criminal charges of involuntary manslaughter. The Berry family will receive just over $99,000 after attorney fees. Officials confirmed the name of a Joplin man who died in a Sunday evening motorcycle crash in Jasper County. The county coroner confirmed that 24-year-old Bryce Roach died after crashing with a car at West 7th Street and Central City Road. Roach was ejected from the motorcycle and rushed to a Springfield hospital where he died early yesterday morning. The crash report did not list any injuries for the driver of the car. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
And we are cooler today. 10 degrees cooler than yesterday, but still 20 degrees above average. Going to the mid-60s, reaching those highs early this morning, leveling out, and then gradually slipping back to about 60 by 4. And we'll have north winds gusting to 25. Still breezy overnight tonight, mostly cloudy through midnight, and then skies begin to clear pretty quickly after midnight. So it does mean we're colder, but we're still above normal, back into the mid-30s. Now, those rain chances. We got some isolated shower chances late Thursday and Friday. And then Saturday, we're looking at the potential for increasing shower and thunderstorm chances for Valentine's Day. So grab the umbrella if you're heading out. Be prepared. No severe weather's expected at this time, but could get a few rumbles of thunder, and we'll keep an eye on that just because we do need the rain. It'd be better if it wasn't on the heart day, but we need the rain, so.
Yeah, it's your opportunity to prove your chivalrous.
Yes, you've got to be very chivalrous.
Well,
that is chivalrous.
Thanks, Chris. Coming up today at noon, we're making sloppy Joe biscuit bake in the Mr. Vitesse kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Coming up, there may have been good news for coffee drinkers, and if you don't drink the coffee, you might want to start. Ahead on CBS Mornings, Dr. Celine Gounder discusses a new study and if a cup of Joe a day could reduce the risks of dementia.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Charlene Patton with the Kansas Soybean Commission is showing us how to make another one of her recipes that'll be perfect for Valentine's Day.
Plus, the members of a Missouri neighborhood have lost their homes due to radioactive waste concerns. Details on why 5 more of these homes are expected to be taken down by the end of the week. It's going to wrap it up for now, though. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.